First playoff game ever at Ford Field. It's not just any playoff game. The old quarterback, Matthew Stafford, is coming into town. And there's been all these things. I see a lot of people on different sides of it. Listen, and I said this on Twitter to start. Enemy number one in Detroit for the next 7 days is Matthew Stafford. Enemy number one is Matthew Stafford. There's no question about it. There's nothing with it. It's not personal. It's nothing like that. I'm sure he understands. But as we get into this Rams week and all of that, we're going at everyone's head in LA. As a part of the leader of the Booner Path and all of that stuff, this is the road to the Super Bowl. You don't let anyone get in the way of that, especially not Matthew Stafford, who's been here for 12 years. That should motivate you even more because he couldn't win you a playoff game. And it's no disrespect. He was one of my favorite players growing up. But he is enemy number one going forward when we get into this Rams talk, fellas. I hope none of you guys here on the show, and I hope no one in the chat is going to sit here and be like, Booner, no, we love. No, there's no lovey-dovey. Next Sunday at 11 p.m. when we beat them, and he might have a press conference saying that he doesn't know if he's going to keep playing football anymore because he's too old, and he just lost to the Detroit Lions by 20 points. That is when we can start loving Matthew Stafford again, and we can start talking about whatever he wants, whether you guys want to retire his jersey or you guys want to go give him his flowers in Detroit for those 12 years. But this is a big matchup, fellas, because you can't let anything, you have to go win this game. This is one of the biggest games. And I asked KG this before, and I said I'm putting in the prep. This might be the biggest game ever in the Detroit Lions franchise history. Biggest game ever.
Wow. No doubt.
Biggest game ever. You haven't had a home playoff game in almost 30 years?
Yeah.
You haven't won a game since a playoff game since the 90s? Right now, you just won 12 games. You tied your franchise record. You have the best football team that you've ever had almost in your franchise history. Herman Moore even said that he's jumping on the Booner path. Because when you have a team like this and you have a team that can compete and contend, you're going for a Super Bowl. And Stafford coming back, the everything that comes with this game, you have to go win this football game. You cannot go in there and drop this game. This is a must-win game for the Detroit Lions. Going forward.
Yes, it is absolutely a must-win game. In fact, if they lose, they're done. So they got to win. If they lose, they're going to be hearing about it for the next
what is it,
8-9 months. Come on, we need these guys to keep playing. It's going to be a real matchup. Matthew Stafford is the real deal. I personally don't care if you prefer to boo. You don't need to cheer for him. You either don't boo or you boo. We're not here to support Matthew Stafford. Maybe that happens next year. I get that a lot of people had memories growing up, and he's a likable guy. But right now, like Booner said, it's enemy number one. He's the quarterback of the team standing in the way of the Lions moving on in the playoffs, of the Lions Super Bowl run. So you got it. This needs to be the biggest game our defense has ever played. The offense is going to show up. I know it. I can feel it. But that defense, imagine how loud it's going to be at Ford Field.
Yeah,
it's going to be all Lions fans too. The ticket prices that have been skyrocketing. I know there have been some people who've been upset with how expensive they got, and I understand that from the point of most normal people aren't able to go to the game, take family with it. It just gets too expensive. But at playoff tickets in the NFL, they're initially set by the NFL. They set the prices. Season ticket holders get first dibs. And then obviously Lions fans are going to be the first ones to put a deposit down on maybe being in the playoffs. So that means on the secondary market where these have skyrocketed, that's not the Lions setting those prices. Those are Lions fans keeping everybody else out.
Yep.
They either want to go so bad they're going to put the ticket up as the price they can't refuse. So if someone does want to buy it for a 200x, that's fine. Or they're not going to let anybody. They're going to let the Rams take over Ford Field like the Lions took over Lambeau or the Bucs Stadium. I think it's awesome. I think it's an underrated story going on. It's like double the price of any other playoff ticket.
And it's all the secondary market. That's the thing. ETN here in the chat said Stafford was throwing no-look passes in the Super Bowl. He ain't scared of a loud crowd. Listen, that's the thing too. Is you guys might there might be some fans out there that want to cheer on Stafford or don't boo him, don't do this. Hey, let's. Stafford understand. He has been in this game for 20 plus years. He understands what's at stake. He knows the city of Detroit. He's been here for 12 years. He knows how passionate all of you guys are and we all are. So he knows that he's going into a hostile environment. He can make, and at the same time, he just won a Super Bowl a couple years ago. He can make the plays. So for us to be like, to give him any leeway on cheering, no, go at his head. Mm-hmm. If you give him that much leeway, he's going to beat you. Go at his head. Go at that Rams team head. Sean McVay, go at, like, this is a good football team. This is a team that we have to take serious. And I think a lot of people are overlooking it a little bit. No, this is a real team. Especially with what's at stake.
I've spoke or maybe tweeted more about Jared Goff getting snubbed over Matthew Stafford for the Pro Bowl this year. But there's no denying how talented Matthew Stafford is and the things he can do with that football. He's never out of it. We saw it. We saw it while he's here. He's never out of a game.
Nope.
He didn't carry us to the finish line.
He almost ended Tom Brady's career.
Yeah. So we got to take these guys seriously. Whether we're the 2, since we're the 2 seed and they're the 7 seed, you got to take them seriously. What's up, Nick?
Yeah, you guys know I will be in attendance. Not a chance I'm missing this game. And a lot of people have been asking me if I'm gonna cheer for Matthew Stafford on his return to Detroit.
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
Hell no, I am not cheering for this dude, Matthew Stafford. In what world? Some of these fans, honestly, it blows my mind. You're riding this dude's coattails. He is not our quarterback. He is not a Detroit Lion. It blows my mind. I know how much that this dude has done for the city of Detroit and all of our football fandom. He's never won a playoff game here. We know he's a great quarterback, but he never did it here. The fact that they ride his coattails so hard, it's absolutely blasphemy. One more thing. This city has been waiting for a winner, and now the fact that we finally have one, we're going to just be super nice to our old quarterback who went and asked for a trade out of here and won a Super Bowl. That's what we're going to do? No. At least I will not be. I will be in attendance. I will be loud. I will be booing. That place is going to be absolutely insane. I'm just so fired up to be there. It's going to be a crazy game.
So, Nick, just want to make sure you are cheering for Matthew Stafford?
I'm not going to.
Okay.
So quit asking.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, you say stop asking.
Want to make sure we straighten that out there. You are not cheering for Matthew Stafford.
Not cheering.
I
not
love that.
Chance.
I know. I'm with you on that. I don't think anyone should be. Now, I get the thing, maybe like the whole booing thing. Like Glover Quinn went on the heavyweights, shout out at them, but he went on the heavyweights and said he doesn't understand why people would boo Matthew Stafford, just because like we don't boo, like Lions fans don't boo any other quarterbacks. So I kind of get that, like if you're just going out of your way, but it's the playoffs. You can boo. You can go at them, man. Like, he's the quarterback that's coming in. Whether it's the playoffs and Patrick Mahomes, whoever it is coming in, Lions fans should be going at him.